Tears for Fears, The Tipping Point. Their new album, or most recent album that came out last year, was the first album released in the Super Deluxe Edition Surround series. And since I have purchased all but one of the Surround series so far, this being number 1, and we're up to number 12 currently, I thought, yeah, just make a video kind of showing it off for anybody that didn't purchase it and maybe is thinking about buying one of these secondhand, because they are not exactly cheap. So this one came out, the pre-order started, let's see, it was January 11th of 2022. Initially it was 2,000 copies available for sale until they sold out, which they sold out very quickly. I did not purchase it initially. Later on, due to popular demand, let's see, it was June 17th, they did a second run, this time a 14-day pre-order window, so anybody could place as many orders as they wanted. You could order 7 copies if you want, why not? And that run was 2,500 copies, so it sold more than the original. Overall, there are 4,500 copies of this available. This is a first edition, I believe. If you take the slipcover off, the only difference between the first and second edition is that the second edition says second edition allegedly somewhere on the back. And I've looked at this one, it doesn't say second edition, so I assume this is a first edition copy. I bought this one secondhand, so I don't really know. It's pretty nice. Did not come with the slipcover originally. They decided to start doing the slipcovers for the third release when they realized this was going to be a series and they put the number on it. And this one is brand new in the shrink wrap. I just got it fairly recently and I haven't opened it yet. I thought I would save it for the camera. So let's go ahead and very difficultly try to open it. They have, you see where it says Blu-ray disc? It's kind of like a gum wrapper kind of thing, you know, where you start it and you just peel it all the way over. I can never get these started though. I should have started it before I started recording. That would have been smart. Let me just, use a file. Good enough. Okay. And then you can just go, lovely. It's very nice whenever it works. Just throw that away. So there we go. Just the Blu-ray case, no slipcover this time. It is the same. If you put them side by side, slightly different image, but mostly the same. Same picture. We get the track listing here. A little bit of information. Website. Nothing too interesting. Let's flip that the right way around. Let's take a look at the disc. Pretty cool. It looks like a tree. It says Tears for Fears right there. I'm not super familiar with Tears for Fears. I don't know if that's a logo that they use regularly, if that's something new. This was the first Tears for Fears album that I actually listened to all the way through, and it's really good, so I've become a fan since listening to them. We have a little picture playing on the title of the album, The Tipping Point, with them being on a seesaw. Put that back in. And then a manual. Quite a few pages. Let's just take a look. Picture of a cat balancing on a chair, which I think is, yeah, it's right here on the cover art. Plus we got a guy on a laptop and another cat. Is that a newspaper or something? And just sitting there, holding a bottle. Let's see. Yeah, this just looks like a lyric page. Yeah, nothing too interesting there. It's kind of nice, but you can easily find these online. It's not super important, but, you know, still good. Pretty good font size on these. A lot of times, whenever you get manuals like this, the font's so small you can't even read the lyrics if you wanted to. That's a good picture. Their names are Roland and Kurt. I don't know which one's which. I think that one's Roland, maybe? No. I think that one's Kurt. That one's Roland. I think. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of Tears for Fears. I only really know their couple of radio hits like Shout and Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Master Plan, that's probably my favorite song on this album. Let's see, mixed by Charlton Pettis. The surround mix was done by Steven Wilson. If you are at all interested in surround or multi-channel music, you will be intimately familiar with the name Steven Wilson. He is like the reigning champion of surround mixes. He has mixed other Tears for Fears albums. This was the first one that he did in Atmos, and I know they were speculating recently on the QuadraphonicQuad forum that they might be re-releasing those previous mixes that were done in 5.1 and redoing them in Atmos. So could come back in the surround series in the future. That's just a blank page. And then a picture of the other cat. And the Tears for Fears logo again. Pretty simple, pretty nice. You know, it's good quality paper and it's good printing and all that. It's as you would expect, since these releases, they're not cheap, and the quality comes across, you know. These do feel like good releases. Good, proper releases. They're not burned disc or anything like that. They are a proper press disc, so they'll last. And really, that's it. I'm just planning on kind of just showing off each of the albums. I don't think I'm actually gonna... I put all them backwards. Let's try that again. I don't really have anything to say about the album itself. This one, I mean, I probably never would have listened to this album if it wasn't for the surround mix, and it is just amazing. You know, Steven Wilson, as I said, champion of surround mixes. Everything he does is just gold, and this album is really, really good. It's kind of surprising, you know, because I don't think Tears for Fears, when was their last album before this? It's like, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. So wasn't really expecting much from it and ended up liking it a lot. So yeah, you just never know. I think that's been my favorite thing about the surround series, is just listening to music that otherwise I probably wouldn't have given the chance. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's check out the next one.